Why is it so important for our physical and mental health to take rest?
Rest is how our minds and bodies recover from when we've really pushed ourselves or challenged ourselves. And also, the thing to remember is that stress comes from two sides, right? There are kind of two sides of stress. If you picture it as like a spectrum, on one end, you have got doing too much. If the people are listening, I'm currently pointing to the wrist support that I'm wearing that doesn't technically fit. But anyway, whereas on the other side, you've got doing things so repetitive and mundane that you get bored shitless. And that lack of stimulation also leads to you feeling like shit and getting stressed and burnt out. And you have to find that middle ground in the same way you have to find that middle ground with how much exercise you do, what healthy foods you eat. You know, you can have too many vitamins in your system and it can lead to health problems in the same way that you can challenge yourself too much and lead to burnout, or you can not have enough of that challenging stimulation and still get burnt out. And when we're talking about rest, it doesn't have to be meditation, although meditation can be a very good way to reprogram your brain and slow it down, says the person who's fallen out of a habit of doing it, but does recommend it because it does make a difference when you're in that habit.
Just living in contradiction.
I will get back into it. I will, because I'm a very big fan of the meditation app that I use at the moment, which is Balance.
Yeah, if we spend all our time just working with no break, your brain will at some point force you to take that break. And that forced break is never going to come at a convenient time, whether that be, illness or, like you say, burnout or anything in between. Your brain will decide it's time. But if you make time for it, schedule in time for rest in between, it's not going to force the rest for you. But if your brain is constantly on, it doesn't have any time to look after itself, and it needs that time to look after itself, both for your mental health, and your physical health. Rest is important for both of those. Why are people not getting enough rest then?
Our world and the fact that we're constantly connected has led to this always on lifestyle that makes it really hard to switch off. We get a notification on our phone, we're compelled to reach to it. And even just having our phone in the same room as us makes us want to check it more, even if it's not going off, because we're worried we might miss something. So we are surrounded by these triggers that make us feel like we have to respond right away. And then you also think about the fact that, everything that's going on in the news right now, it makes it hard to kind of pull yourself away from it because the world is on fire.
Yeah, you can't look away almost sometimes, right?
Yeah.
I know personally, my day job demands a lot of my time as well. Obviously, during my 8 hours or 9 hours, or however long I work, but often day jobs demand time outside of work as well. I'm quite lucky that mine doesn't. But if you work remotely and have the devices there and have Teams on your phone perhaps, or Slack or whatever is used to communicate, it's very easy to just think, oh, I'll just reply to this work message, I'll just reply to this work email, because that's the kind of societal expectations that we have these days. You think, oh, I may as well get that done now, I may as well do it. And sometimes your job may even expect you to be replying outside of hours. And in a way, even if you don't include the day job, there's always something that we think we should be doing. I want to use air quotes there, should be doing, because we've gotten into the habit of not making time to rest. Society expects you to be constantly doing something, whether that is work or school or kids or, maybe home improvements. I don't know. There's always something to be doing. People expect you to be using your time to progress in something all the time, and it's just not healthy. People assume that that's what they need to be doing all the time to prove that they're being useful, but in actual fact, you might be a little bit more useful if you make time to rest as well.